As we mentioned, though, to you earlier, a very sad weekend for the entertainment world, for the world, period. The death of award-winning actress and director Regina King's child brings extreme heartache through Hollywood and, of course, the black community. Like I said, everywhere. I mean, Regina is loved by everybody. I had a very informative interview with Dr. Joanne Frederick about the signs of suicide along with prevention just moments ago. And yeah, you got to pick up on some of those signs. You got to pay attention a lot, Shannon, because this comes out of nowhere. Sometimes you just see people who are full of life, and sometimes the happiest people. And that's why they always say, check on your strongest friends, because sometimes your strongest friends are the ones that need the most help. Yeah. I was one of those guys that always put on this strong facade, always happy, always trying to make everybody else happy. Meanwhile, I'm suffering in silence. So you never know who could be dealing with somebody. So always just check on them. Say, hey, man, you okay? Everything good? Even when you think they're happy, still check on your friends. Make sure you do that, and your family members.
And it's so important to get past the stigma associated with it. You talk about stronger people. Well, 78% of all people who die by suicide are actually men. That's according to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, because I think you talk about being strong. A lot of times men are supposed to be strong. They're not supposed to share their feelings. They have all these emotions, and they go through these things and don't know how to deal with them, don't know how to cope with them. And that's when the help comes in. That's when the mental health comes in. That's when talking to someone and checking on other people come into play. And don't forget about the guys that are involved in these suicides also, that are the fathers, the brothers, the cousins, because Ian had a father. He has a father, Ian Alexander Sr. You know, his feelings and his emotions are go into play of this. It's not just Regina King that's affected by this. All the men in his life also have to now cope with this too, which could cause depression or sadness that they're dealing with. So, and any time that people are going through this type of thing, surround them with love, prayer, care, and check on them. And not only in this situation, but in everyday life, check on them.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that you brought up, because a lot of people saying, and Regina, of course, is suffering, but Ian, his father, is going through the same thing. That's his son, and a son that, you know, you have a lot of questions and asking yourself, what more could you have done? Like I said, I lost a cousin last year, and her mom is still asking, what more could she have done? She didn't see this. Obviously, she was going through some things. Apparently, she was going through some things with her boyfriend, but you never think it's going to get to that point. But yeah, just check on people, because it's important, and know that if you're going through these things, that there are brighter days ahead. And I live my life one day at a time now, and I wake up every morning and I thank God for the blessing that he's given me. And I don't know how spiritual people are, but I'm very spiritual when it comes to that. Maybe not religious, but spiritual. I just thank God that I have breath in my body, because I always say that I'm far from perfect, but I'm better than most. And you have to understand that no matter how bad you think it is, sometimes you have it a lot better than a lot of people in this world, but you still have to continue to try, because tomorrow could be that day where everything turns around. So if you need help, there is help available. There's a lot of people to talk to. Once again, the Suicide Prevention Hotline is out there, but also just your friends, your family, your pastors, everybody. Once again, 1-800-273-TALK is the Suicide Prevention Lifeline that you can reach out to once again. And if you feel that way, please speak up, because you know you're leaving life behind, but also there are a lot of family members out there who always have these questions that they will never more than likely get the answer to as well.
Yeah, and don't forget that that is anonymous also. You don't have to tell them your name. You can just call them and just talk to them, and they'll talk you through your emotions and your feelings that you go through. If you don't think you can talk to somebody in your family, although there are a lot of people out there that I'm sure love you, even if you don't realize it. And even if you don't think someone loves you now, there could be a lot of people that can share your love in the future if you're here to share it. So stay with us, not only on the show, but also in life.